Stampers, it's Cynthia. I am back today with another video, and this time I am going to share what I think is a very cool technique, and I wanted to do a little playing with color today. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. So the stamp that I'm going to use is a large red rubber black background stamp from My Favorite Things. This one is actually a retired pattern, but it's the Cheetah background. And I really don't use it that much, but I really liked it for this technique because of the fact that it's going to stamp quite a bit. Most of my background stamps are fine lines, and I wanted something that was going to give me chunkier look. So you'll find out why that's important as we go along. So I'll set that aside for now because I'm just going to create a panel here, and I wanted it to be not necessarily cheetah colors or anything, but I did want something that was going to be a nice rich color. So I am using my Stampin' Up! Inks, and I'm going to use Tangelo Twist, Hello Honey, and Daffodil Delight. And I'm just going to go ahead and be very free form with my coloring. So it's not going to be any kind of a pattern. I'll start with my lightest color, and I'm just using my little finger daubers. And I'm going to get all three colors onto this panel, but I'm starting with my lightest because that's the best way to keep your lightest color pure, is to start with it and then add your darker colors later. Go ahead and call that good. And I'm going to switch to my mid-tone, which is the Hello Honey. I always want to say Wild Honey, but so you can see that this is just a little bit darker. Still a very complementary color. And then that darkest tone, I'll want to be far more subtle with that one, because the darker you go, the more the color can dominate if you're not careful. I can always go back and add a little bit more later, but once it's down, you really can't take it off. So that's why I want to be a little more aware. So now, like I mentioned, this color, this beautiful orange, can be very dominant if you're not careful. So I'm going to do my best to, again, just kind of focus it in spots as opposed to a whole wash of it. now that I've got all my color down, I'm going to actually go ahead and just go over it to kind of set the colors and really make sure that all of that moisture is evaporated. So let me just run over this with my heat tool. Okay, I am back and my panel should be pretty well set up now. So I'm just going to put my background stamp flat on my work surface. And I'm taking my Versamark ink pad and I'm just going to get a good amount of ink all across my stamp here. And the stamp is of course larger than my paper, but I don't want to miss any spots because the stamping and the heat embossing portion of this is very important to your final outcome. Alright, so that is nice and inky, and I'm just going to take that panel I created and lay it face down. Actually, you know what? I'm going to treat it one more time with my bag and do a really nice job getting that wipe down. So I'm going to lay it down, take a piece of scratch paper so that I can really rub all the way up to the edges without getting my fingers sticky. All right. So I pick that up, and when I tip it in the light, I can see exactly where all the stamping is, and it looks like it turned out nicely. So I'm going to go ahead and get my clear embossing powder all over my background. So that looks really nice. I just want to give it a second to solidify nicely before I start manipulating it. So there was a little bit of curling, but overall not bad at all. Alright, so I'm getting out my tin, getting my black soot ink. Alright, so get my miniature craft mat back. Alright, so this is thoroughly set. Wipe away any stray anything. And this is the part where you kind of have to be a little brave again. And what I'm going to do is every part of this colored panel that has been embossed over, the color is protected underneath the clear, and any of the exposed areas are not protected. So when you bring in whatever color ink you want to use, in my case black, as I'm doing this, the clear embossed areas are resisting the ink and the exposed cardstock is accepting the ink. And regardless of your look, going for a nice dark ink, whether it's black or a dark brown or a navy blue or a deep purple, that's gonna pretend on or depend on your finished project, what you'd like to use. But it's a lot more striking when you have a high contrast. So, And because this is Distress ink, I'm protecting it a little bit here with a paper towel, because the Distress ink is a little wetter and I don't want to get fingerprints in it. And again, the nice thing is that you will see 0 marks from your tool. So I could have used a finger dauber, I could have used the rectangular shaped blending tool. Anything will work just fine. And you can keep going and going and going until you truly get a jet black background. I don't think I'll take it that far. Just dark enough where you know it's black. There you go. I just love the look of that. It is so unique. And then the other nice thing you can do, and actually this has just the slightest bit of dampness here, so what I'm going to do is take that incredibly slightly damp portion and just rub it across the, but look at all the paint I'm picking up from the plastic embossing surface, because that ink will sit just a bit on that, and by rubbing it away it really brightens up the surface. But see, isn't that fun? Oh my gosh, that turned out so nice. I really like that. But see, all of that black ink was just sitting on the surface, so you really are going to want to take the time, and you can rub it with a completely dry cloth if you want. If you're using a baby wipe, like I said, try to use one that's only very, very slightly damp. You do not want to come in with a really damp cloth, because you'll end up disturbing the black ink. Alright, so there it is. That is so much fun. I really am happy with that. So you can do whatever you want with this. It's big enough where I might actually slice it down this way and make 2 panels and get 2 cards with it. So I think in my next video I'll come up with some sort of a card project that I can use this panel on. This is a really neat technique. I hope you're going to take the time to try it yourself. I think you'll be very happy. And you saw that I just used whatever dye inks I happen to have handy. So that's another thing, is that this is not a project that's dependent on using Distress inks or anything. It is absolutely wide open to any dye ink that you have in your craft stash. So take care of yourselves. Like I said, I'm going to come back and make a card project with this panel, so keep your eyes open for that. And in the meantime, you guys have an awesome day, and I'll see you all again very, very soon. Bye-bye.